Today on Drawbli.
I am drawing from Demon Copperhead.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are self-taught artists documenting our journey of improving a drawing, which is, of course, better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And check out our guidebook, How to Easily Draw Every Day, at the link below. Abby, tell me about Demon Copperhead.
Demon Copperhead is a book that has won the Pulitzer Prize 2023, which is this year at this time. And I read it because I wanted a book to read, and that seemed like a pretty good way to pick out a book, was to pick one that's won a Pulitzer Prize. Not a foolproof method, I found out later, but Demon Copperhead was incredible.
I thought your opinion on it was not so pleasant.
No, that was the 2022 Pulitzer Prize winner, which will remain unnamed because I'm not here to talk bad about a book. I'm here to talk good about another book. So I don't have a synopsis for Demon Copperhead.
Abby, you know I don't read, so I'm gonna...
It's sad.
It's actually a common practice in our home that Abby will read a book and then tell me all about it. I get the Spark Notes from Abby on everything. For those that were around during Spark Notes days.
I have finally accepted that you're a podcast guy and I'm a book girl, and that's okay. So, it's good. So, Demon Copperhead is...
it's good, you dunce.
No, not at all, not at all. Demon Copperhead is like a mirror image.
Wait, real quick, before you tell me about Demon Copperhead,
oh my gosh.
I like the brush that you're using here. It's like, it's not a pencil. It has like brush strokes to it, you know?
Yeah,
it's got like bristles.
I think it's from the MedMaps brush pack.
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Shout out to Ahmed Al-Dori.
He's so great. Him and his
working
brushes.
on that Meds Map 2 Electric Boogaloo. We're waiting for it.
Oh, yeah. His first one we went through. That was so awesome. We should go through that again. I really feel like there'd be value in that.
Anyway, tell me about Demon Copperhead.
So it's based on the story by, or I believe based on the story by Charles Dickens, David Copperfield, which is a very depressing book about growing up as like basically a foster child in London times, in Dickens times.
Great tree.
Thank you.
Excellent tree.
So Demon Copperhead is basically saying, hey, things aren't that much better in poor America, in the Appalachian area specifically. Here's the story from birth of this little boy who grows up, to be a young man throughout the course of the book.
I did listen to a small portion of this book, maybe about 30 plus minutes or so, and it was unbelievably depressing.
It was, but somehow I listened to the whole book and did not come away feeling depressed, but instead uplifted. And I loved the book because as a nurse specifically, we live in the Midwest, and sometimes my patients are from like far-flung counties, and they're from like the Appalachian areas.
What exactly does Appalachia mean? In my head, it means like hillbilly. Hill people.
It is meant to, and that's basically the gist of it, is how most people imagine it. And you're basically right. There's many nuances to that, but...
I come from a long line of hillbillies.
I think my dad's parents on that side are kind of from the sticks, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But literally I have ties, I guess I do, to the Hatfield or McCoys. I'm not sure which.
Oh, yeah, your sister was telling me about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way back. That's why I'm so argumentative.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Apparently, they're still going at it, too. Like, they still hate each other.
I feel like that shows that,
you wouldn't understand because you're not one of us.
I it's all very sad. The book is sad. The book is sad.
The book is very sad.
The things that have happened to and happened with the Appalachian people are it is sad because they're a very poor, disenfranchised people. And they are devalued because, there's a whole thing about land economy versus money economy that I won't get into, but nonetheless, they've kind of gotten the short end of the stick, except they live in beautiful areas of nature, which is emphasized throughout the book. The main character is often, describing the areas he's in, and often it's a very beautiful place out in nature.
And you're doing a very good job drawing this area of nature. I really like this.
He, as a child, lives in a double-wide trailer very close to another home that is occupied by his, friends and their grandma, and he goes and stays with them a lot. So when I saw this picture, I was like, oh, that's kind of like the beginning of Demon Copperhead, where he's born in this little double-wide trailer, literally born in it, and then his friends live a little bit down the road in a house. And so I decided I would draw this because I did watch some of that new tutorial or course
Oh, yeah.
that we're doing about drawing like environments. So this is kind of inspired by that course.
You mean Colden Dubell's The Complete Sketching and Speed Painting Super Course?
Yes.
Which I didn't have to look up to remember the name of?
I know. But it is very good. And I have enjoyed what parts of the course I've watched so far.
I would actually just recommend putting it on 2x speed and just blasting through a bunch of them.
Yeah. maybe I'll do
Literally
that.
sit down for an hour, 2x speed, you'll get through like 3 of them.
Yeah.
4 of them.
You
know?
absorb things, I think, a lot faster than I do, though. I need time to process information, or I don't absorb it, and then it's just wasted
Well, a
time.
lot of it's review, you know?
That's true. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. So I drew this piece, and I was just going to do a value study. I did splash some color on it in an overlay style, but what I drew next was what I was kind of excited about. I Googled, like, photos of children from Appalachia, and while Demon Copperhead takes place more in the 90s, I found pictures from the 70s, and I found specifically this picture of like 2 girls just kind of near a barn that I thought was pretty striking. So after I finish this, I'm going to show you my process of coloring in the sketch I made. Now, I
Yeah.
made my sketch in a
Traditionally?
sketchbook.
Yeah, you've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, and I don't really have a good setup to like film that process right now. Although if I'm gonna keep doing that with Drawbli, I should figure out a way.
Well,
so
there's
that,
a very easy solution, but we just have to buy one. It's just one of those like little top-down arms that you could put your phone in and record your
Yeah,
drawing. But
maybe-
you'd have to sketch at a table kind of thing.
maybe I'll get one. I my grandma sent me money for my birthday.
Oh.
Yeah, she sent me an Amazon gift
Your
card.
grandma from the Appalachian?
No, this isn't an Appalachian grandma. This is a different Midwestern grandma, but she's distinctly not Appalachian.
With this artwork that you got going on here, was there anything that did you have any like aha moments, or did you have anything that you're like, I really like this, or maybe you've
Yeah.
discovered something new, or
I liked how
something old?
bright I kept the water. I feel like keeping that really white was really satisfying to me. And I was really trying to think about like, oh wow, and in some areas I was like, this is starting to look kind of muddy and incoherent. So I had tried to keep my value ranges a little bit more, I don't know, distinct. Like the ground is all kind of one value. There's some trees behind the trailer that I tried to keep darker. And then this was just an experiment trying to add some color to it. I did not take this very far, but this was fun to try. So yeah, I don't know. It felt, we often say like, you know, maybe I didn't learn anything consciously from this one, but just the act of doing it, I'll have learned something to add to the next piece that I make.
The diligence of doing, yes. And
Yes.
here we go with Abby's next piece, which is awesome. I was telling you I hadn't seen this one. Wow, these look amazing.
Thank you.
And this was based on a reference
Yes.
of a photo from the 70s, you said?
I put it in the YouTube thumbnail for
Ooh,
this
okay,
video.
okay.
So if you clicked on the thumbnail for this video, you saw the reference and versus my finished drawing here.
You did such a good job with the style of the characters.
Thank
like the faces
you.
look fantastic.
Thank you. I was pretty pleased with how they turned out.
Abby's
yeah.
been drawing a lot from her imagination lately, and I am very jealous of what
Aw.
she's able to do because
Thank
it is
you.
insane.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it is so fun to draw from imagination. There is so much value in using reference. Absolutely. Definitely a necessary part of any artist's journey. But, you know, like it's often really nice to stretch the creative muscles in that way too.
Every time I draw from imagination, it's just like, wah.
Aw, well, you'll get there. You'll get there. I was really pleased with how her hands turned out.
Yeah, nice
Yeah,
job.
those are really
Hands
difficult for me.
Hands are tough.
And I was pleased with how their faces turned out as well. They're not perfect, but I thought they were interesting enough, and I kept them the way they are. Although I do a lot of redrawing with little nuanced spots like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so much so that my favorite mechanical pencil, it only has a very tiny eraser with it, and that eraser is almost gone. So I am going to have to get some new erasers soon. Yeah.
So the way you kind of improve at things is typically in a relatively, let's just call it like a steady trajectory. But the way in which you kind of notice improvements within yourself is more of like a stair-stepping nature. and these periods of like flatness where you are improving, but you can't necessarily notice them because they're either small changes or you're just, you know, I don't want to say like not super self-aware, but essentially that, because it's hard to pick up on these things. It is difficult. But when you have those big aha moments are like where you notice like your improvements or your changes. And I feel like I had one of those.
Oh, yeah?
Really recently.
Oh, really?
On a piece. So I'll talk about that more
In our next video.
in our upcoming video.
Oh, awesome.
Nice job on this.
Thank you.
This is so cool.
It was a blast. Well, if you want to have a blast, click that like and subscribe button and check out our guidebook, How to Easily Draw Every Day, at the link in the description.
Share your work on Instagram with hashtag Drawbli because drawing's better with friends.
And this is the part where we say goodbye.
Goomba.
Read the book by, I don't remember her name, Barbara Kingslayer. Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingslayer.
Barbara Kingslayer?
It's probably her like writer's name. Isn't that cool? She picked a good one.
She did.